Welcome to this production. Today we'll be reviewing The Zookeeper's Wife with Jake Mansfield, their own nightly news disc.
Zookeeper's Wife is a non-fiction book written in convention with the entries from the unpublished diary of Antonia Zabinski. It recounts the true story how her and her husband, Jan Zabinski, director of the Warsaw Zoo, saved the lives of 300 Jews who had been imprisoned in the Warsaw ghettos following the German invasion of Poland during World War II. Bloodshed and tragedy are recalled in first-person perspective by Antonia in her writings, but the valor and courage of the Zabinskis presented throughout the war is not overlooked in Diane Zackerman's rewritings of the true historic story.
Written by poet and naturalist Diane Ackerman, The Zookeeper's Wife narrates the actions and bravery presented by Zabinski. Ackerman's narration of these true events negatively affected the story, as Ackerman continually added paragraphs full of unnecessary information that detracted from the storyline, and at times breaking the suspense. There are many moments in Ackerman inserted with information about the animals, the war, or any miscellaneous topics that made the story hard to follow. Off topic, rather drug on, and ultimately taking attention away from the topic at hand. Having Antonia's journal entries gave the reader dramatic and realistic fare that makes the readers come to the realization that these events actually happened and were not merely a story made up in the writer's head. But with this being said, Mrs. Ackerman's writing failed to incorporate all of Antonia's entries. Her own narration and the overall conflict of the Holocaust into each other, making the novel choppy and exhausting to read. While Ackerman is a talented writer, the contrasting styles of her own writing, which seemed to be much more formal, was a sharp contrast of Mrs. Zabinski's writing style and her voice of her personal diary.
Okay. The fact that The Zookeeper's Wife is in fact a true story is what makes the book so intriguing. Rather than the author creating imagery to form a picture in the reader's imagination, the novel is accomplished by pictures, and this assists the overall storytelling that isn't covered by Diane Ackerman's storytelling itself. The true events that took place and around the Warsaw Zoo is what draws the readers in, not the overall writing style. The writing doesn't necessarily take away from the retelling, but does enhance it. Although most learning about the Holocaust in school is not a story most people want to hear about. Seeing this dramatic side of World War II can hold their attention, whether or not they're interested in historical aspects of the book. The sense of irony that is interlaced throughout all of the events creates drama in the way that the Zabinskis hid their victims in animal cages to protect them from the Nazis' actions. This drama, an extra dose of something that you won't be found in textbooks, is what makes the story so intriguing than the writing itself.